Welcome to Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support for when the divorce process has finished. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics related to post-divorce. Together, we'll explore the emotional, financial, and legal aspects of life after divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. Today, we're tackling a specific situation that can arise after divorce, and that is your child's going to turn 16, and the question of vehicle ownership and responsibility kind of comes to the forefront. So this really can be a complex and exciting time filled with newfound independence for your young teenager and potential challenges for you as a parent. So let's take a look at this, in a little more depth. So we're going to start with, say, the state law level. So the legal framework for, really regarding vehicles and teenagers varies depending on your state. Driving permits, vehicle ownership, insurance requirements, all those pieces, the child has to go through before they can even drive a car. And so when you get into all those parts, you got to just figure out what is going to work best for getting the child driving. Some states have like an hours that they have to drive with a parent or a licensed driver, let's say. So you and your ex-spouse may split up the driving time to teach them and get them experience on the road themselves. So depending on how that works, there's also curfew limits and stuff regarding kids and driving, depending on their ages and things. But this is going to be state by state specific, so you're going to want to check that out. Now, we're going to need open communication, and that's, not just with the child, but also your ex-spouse, and you're going to discuss expectations. The kid is going to have to be responsible for the driving and taking care of the vehicle and stuff. But at the same time, when you talk to your ex-spouse, you're going to want to figure out, who's paying for the car, how's it being paid for, who's paying for the insurances on those, because let me tell you, kids and car insurance, that's, they can get expensive. It just kind of depends on the kid, the car, the vehicle, that kind of thing. And so you're going to want to have some conversations with your ex with regards to who's responsible for what. We're going to have also maintenance and repairs on the vehicle. So you're going to want to make sure that that's included as far as how are we going to split that, or how are those expenses going to be shared, or is one spouse taking care of it over another spouse because you're offsetting, say, another expense. So you do have flexibility in this regards as far as how you craft the actual agreement. So make sure that you feel like the agreement is fair for both of you. And then, as the child gets older and stuff, you're probably going to want to put maybe an end date on this, like how many years kind of thing. Is it through college, through high school? Is it just a flat out next 5 years kind of thing? And really just working through all the little nuances that come with children and vehicles. Now, the nice thing is your child will be able to drive themselves back and forth to each parent's house, or perhaps extracurricular activities, they'll be able to drive themselves. So it could free up some time for you, make things a little better and easier and smoother for the parents themselves. So there are some nice benefits to having your teen drive. The main thing, the downside is, as a parent, it's like, what about, the stress it adds because they are now driving on the road, and, it may not be that your child is a poor driver, but you never know about the other person driving in the other vehicles. So navigating all this stuff, it can be as complex as you want. There are definitely a lot of discussions that will need to take place with your ex to set up a framework to allow you guys to work smoothly through this process. Is a car required? No, a car is not required. However, like I've said, there's a lot of benefits to actually having your team driver use a vehicle to get around. One of the bigger ones is, one, it teaches responsibility, and two, it allows you to free up some time that you normally would have been with regards to taking them and shuttling them places. So I'd like to thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out or leave a comment. Divorce is not the end of your story. As we know, it is the start of your next great chapter. Take care.